Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It's a late night Easter stream today. It's unusual. I haven't streamed this late in a while. Let's see. Just with it being Easter Sunday, we had lots of family stuff going on, so the stream got pushed to this evening. Let's see. Gotta make a quick post in the Discord. And there we go. Alright. So we're going to be working on MCP server tonight. Hello, Suhas. Good evening, man. I wondered if I'd see any usual faces here, considering this is kind of my not usual streaming schedule. Nice to see one, though. It's got to be kind of late for you, right? Or maybe it's the morning for you now. What's up? Nothing's much is up, man. Had ourselves a good Easter Sunday. Ate some good food. Oh, so yeah, you're just getting your day started, huh? Nice, 7 a.m. Alex, 3 a.m. for me. Dang. Okay, so you haven't slept yet. Nice. That's kind of intense. just a tad intense, but you know, I respect it. We've all got our schedules to keep. Yeah, hopefully I won't be staying up till 3 a.m. My plan is just to stream for a couple hours this evening. Gonna try to make a little bit of progress and not get too lost in the weeds. Sometimes that can happen when you dive into a project. So I think there was a couple things I needed to still do here. So yeah, so I need to format the rules based on the field type. I need to replace the field name with the field ID. I don't know if this is one I need to do. I need to run some I need to do a little bit of exploratory work real quick on this. Well, hold on. Before I don't want to dump my API key on stream. Alex, what editor do you use? Alex, I use NeoVim, or that's what I'm using right now. I still use, I'm a long time VS Code user, and that's what I was using for the last 4 or 5 years. And then at the beginning of this year, I decided to give NeoVim a try. And so far, so good. It's been fun to work with it. Definitely a different experience. The biggest takeaway from using it has been learning how to navigate my editor with Vim motions. It's been my biggest takeaway so far. And I probably, like, I even set up Vim motions in VS Code. I probably won't ever give up Vim motions. Can't see myself ever going backwards from that, but you know, is what it is. King Nadish, you use Edge? I do use Edge, King. So oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. So you may not know this, but nice, Suhas here. Oh, we'll go shot for shot in the Discord with our coffee here. I do use Edge, and there's kind of a story behind it. So you may not know this, King Nadesh, but my day job is I work as a quality engineer, And so me and my boss at the time decided that it would make more sense if we both tested in different browsers when we were doing our testing, our manual testing. And so she took Chrome and I took Edge. And granted, I know the underlying technology is very similar between those browsers, but that's what those are the two browsers that are predominantly used by our user base. And I secretly also kind of picked Edge because they have first class support for vertical tabs, which kind of seems like a weird reason to pick a browser, but it was important to me. Alex, what is your favorite thing about it? Have not tried it myself just yet, but soon. Yeah, man, I would say give it a go. It's definitely a different experience. And I kind of front ran your question there about what my favorite thing about it is. My favorite thing about it is just the keyboard centric workflow. Learning to navigate things without always reaching for your mouse has been quite life changing. I'm not very fast at it, but it's been very impactful, and so I'm trying to get better at it. Hold on one sec. I gotta go shot for shot with Suhas in the coffee channel in our Discord real quick, because I am drinking some espresso, and it looks like he is drinking some coffee himself. So, cheers to you, Suhas. Okay, so I think first things first here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so first things first. I want to find out when I query for records, I need to figure out if I need to, let's see, try it out. Shoot, this actually might expose my API key. Hold on. I probably shouldn't make this request on stream. Let's see, I need to get the fields first. Alex, bet. Nice one. I will try sleep. Yeah, man. Give it a go and sleep well, Alex. Yep. We'll enjoy our coffee and have ourselves a nice, good, chill stream this evening. So, sorry guys, I'm doing something off stream real quick because I need to try out some behavior. I need to test some behavior of this API I'm talking to, but I really don't want to leak my API key on stream. So give me 1 second to test something. It may be more than a few seconds, but in the meantime we can chat while I do this off stream. Let's see, status is the field I'm looking for. Well, let me just get that one field. That would be smarter. Did y'all have a good Easter? I don't know if any of you guys celebrate Easter, but did any of you guys have a good Easter if you do celebrate? Mine was pretty good. Hung out with family, my wife's family actually. We were supposed to go to my family's place in Joplin, Missouri. It's about 3 hours south of where I live. We were supposed to go there for the weekend and see my brother and his family and my sister and her family. But there was bad weather here, so our trip got canceled. There was some tornadic weather in the forecast, so we decided, better not risk it, you know. Better safe than sorry. For sure. Okay, let's try this real quick. I know this probably is not interesting for you to watch, but give me 1 sec. Execute. One. It's a weird error. Suas, did you make the thumbnail for the disc? I did not make it. I prompted ChatGPT to make the thumbnail for the Discord server, and it did a decent job. Network Bib's picture that he made for our Discord server was fine. It's just it wasn't really my style, so I wanted to change it up, you know. Oops. Oh, you can't even use. Why, Suas? Do you think this? Do you think the new picture is good, or do you think the picture is bad? And you won't hurt my feelings either way. Actually, I think someone just tried to join our Discord. Hold on, let me see. I think we might have a new members request in the Discord. Oh no, that was earlier. Suhas says, don't dox. Of course, I will never dox your pet, Suhas. Suhas. Why, you don't like the picture? Okay, fair enough, man. You don't have to like it. It's more my style, though. It's more my style. Okay, so this is good. This is good news. So I don't, this one right here, I don't need to do this. Don't need to do that. But we do need to do these other ones. And so what I'm thinking is, I'm actually going to separate this logic to do both these things. I'm going to separate this out into its own method, and it's just going to be down here, or its own function, I guess I should say, and it's just going to be called format rule, I think is what it's going to be called. It's going to take a rule, which is going to be a filter, field type is going to be I think this is actually going to be called fields. And right now we're just going to type this in because I don't really know what the structure of that's going to be yet. Yeah, so we need to go work on that real quick. So let's go back to our main tools here. We'll jump down here. Where are we? We're right here. So when we call this method, we need to pass in well, this is kind of interesting. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. Suhas, you like? Okay. Suhas is spamming with peanuts. Skadhatzim? I'm just going to call you Bacon. What are we working on? We're working on a model context protocol server is what we're working on. Harsh, is it okay to build projects watching tutorials? For sure, Harsh. I think that it's very much akin to when you're first learning to cook. I kind of liken this to an analogy that I used to use when I was a personal trainer, when I worked with people in fitness. A lot of the times it's better early on to follow a recipe, right? When you're first learning something, you know, when you're learning to cook or when you're learning to work out, it's a lot of times it's better to build something, you know, to follow something from start to finish that somebody else has already wrote or done. That can be a really helpful practice. But at some point, Harsh, you do need to get out of tutorials, right? At some point, you do need to step out of that, right? Just like at some point, you need to try to make your own recipe, right? To be a real cook, to be a real chef. Or at some point when you're learning to be a personal trainer, or you're learning to be a strength and conditioning coach, you have to start writing your own programs for people, right? You have to start using your own judgment. And the same thing goes for developing programming and coding, is at some point you have to take on a task that somebody else hasn't clearly spec'd out for you, right? That has unknowns, and you have to use your wit and your judgment to solve the problems. So nothing wrong with building projects while you watch tutorials, but definitely don't want to fall down into tutorial hell for sure. Yes, Suhas, they will be confused. Bacon says, is this C? It is not C. It is TypeScript. It is indeed TypeScript. You can call me Bacon. Yeah, I'll call you Bacon. RS Tech, what do you think about the Vercel AI SDK? I haven't used it. I've seen a couple of videos where Matt Pocock was using it in a couple of videos. It looks like a really nice SDK. I just haven't used it. So my only opinion is a what is that? It's a secondhand. It's a secondhand opinion. Rage, nice username, man. Rage, how do you deal with low quality documentation for new things? Rage, I think you just have to be understanding and empathetic that when something is new and you're trying to use it as a user, you just have to have some empathy for the people who are building it to understand that it's new. They're actively in development mode, right? Things probably aren't quite stable yet. They probably don't have the time and the resourcing necessary to document it well, or maybe don't want to expend that energy right now when things could be in flight or could be unstable. So I think just having empathy for the people building. I would guess, Rage, you're a builder yourself, so it should be easier for you to kind of find that empathy for people that, when you're early on in the development process of a new project, documentation is usually the last thing you do, which is like even this project that I'm working on. If you look at the README, this README is, it's like a heading and 1 or 2 sentences, right? I'm not going to document it until I get it to a place that feels stable. So that would be my advice, man. Just have some empathy for the other people and be willing to dive in yourself into the source code a little bit and poke around. Look at it as an opportunity for growth for you to read other people's code and try to understand it. And the documentation will eventually come, hopefully. Spill3AF. Hello. I don't know quite how to say your username, so I apologize for that. Suhas, removing the training wheels from the cycle. Yes, agree, Suhas. That kind of goes back to that question that Harsh was asking. Harsh says, but not able to write code on my own. Oh, well, Harsh, if you're following tutorials and you're writing code, you're gonna be able to learn, read, and write code, even if just through osmosis. So I think that's totally fine. I think you should be weary of, don't build yourself into a corner, right? So if you're going to build something, don't deploy it and push it out to users if you're concerned with your ability to maintain it or upkeep it. That's probably it. But if you're just building for yourself, I don't see anything wrong with that. Talu, hi, what are you programming right now? I'm working on a model context protocol server. And so I'm assuming maybe you know what that is, maybe you don't. It's basically just exposing, giving an LLM the ability to take actions against another piece of software. So in this case, it's talking to a third-party API. And so that's what I'm working on. I've been working on it for the last week and a half or so. Azim, what's up, brother? I just had a long holiday. Thursday out of office, Friday, Good Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Nice, dude. I'm having a long holiday myself. I took Friday off because, not necessarily because of Good Friday. My kid had a field trip that I chaperoned, so I took Friday off. And then my birthday's tomorrow, so I took tomorrow off. I'm going to kind of spend the day playing hooky with my wife. So Yeah, long holidays are nice. I'm hoping you're enjoying yours. Harsh. Let's see. Spill 3AF. What is your opinion on Python? I think Python's fine. I think a lot of people love Python. I myself know how to write Python, but I don't reach for it a ton, just out of preference. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Tolu says, "What the fuck is this? Vim on Windows?" It is Vim on Windows. Actually, Tolu, it's Vim on Windows in PowerShell in Windows Terminal. So all you Mac and Linux users, NeoVim is not just for you. I've had several people react that way to my usage of NeoVim. Bacon, what did he say MCP was? Model Context Protocol. So if you go to modelcontextprotocol.io, this is the documentation site for the protocol, but you can just think of it as kind of an abstraction layer that more people are starting to buy into, to kind of have a common abstraction layer to expose tooling, I should say, to LLM-based clients, right? So Cursor, VS Code, Claude Desktop, right? So just kind of that way you can write a set of tools for, say, like Postgres, right, or SQLite. You can write them once, and then any other MCP client can make use of your MCP server. Tolu says, why? Because NeoVim's fun, and I've been wanting to learn how to use it, and so at the beginning of this year, I decided, hey, I'm going to take a shot at it. And it's been good. It's been a good time. Sentinel, looks like you are in Terminal in PowerShell, but how are you editing and providing code highlighting? What are you using? I'm using NeoVim, Sentinel. So if you're not familiar with it, NeoVim is a kind of an extension of classic Vim with some new takes on it, a little bit better configurability, a couple different configurability APIs, plugins, things of that nature. So you can kind of build it out more akin to like you would VS Code. It's been fun. It's been fun to use. Harsh, how can I build logic in TypeScript and JavaScript? So Harsh, you're typically going to express logic through writing functions and if statements and that sort of thing, right? So it's just kind of logic is just inherent to writing code, or I guess it should be. Maybe not all the time. Bacon, model context protocol server. Got it. Yes. Talua already answered Sentinel's question. Harsh says, happy birthday, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've got 2.5 more hours till we cross over to Monday for me, but yeah. Let's see. Raid says, is MCP like OpenAI's assistant functions, but for all LLMs? Yeah, I think that's a good way to think of it, Raid. So, OpenAI has functions. I think they call theirs function calling, and then Anthropic calls theirs tool use, right? And so you have a lot of people who are using these LLM providers, these foundation model providers, and they're sort of building up their own agentic frameworks, right? Using this function calling, tool use, what have you. And so MCP is kind of this idea of like, let's have a common layer of abstraction that we can implement on top of other existing pieces of software. And that way, not everybody's constantly reinventing the wheel. So you can actually go and see there's a lot of MCP servers that have been implemented in the last few months, because this hasn't been around for very long. Anthropic announced it, I think, in November of last year. But there's MCP servers for just about everything now. GitHub has one. There's one for Google Drive, one for SQLite, right? And so if you implement an MCP compliant client, now you have the ability to use all of these different MCP servers, right? So you don't have to go and implement your own agent to talk to the file system or to talk to GitHub, right? You can just use these, which is kind of nice, I think. I think it makes sense for something like that to exist. Azim, happy birthday. I appreciate that, man. Decided to join a gym. That's awesome, dude. Every bit of my body is sore. Yeah, man, take it easy, you know, enjoy yourself. If, you know, working out, staying in shape, it's a marathon, so you definitely, no rush. You got plenty of time, you know. But that's awesome. Glad to hear it, dude. Toulouse says, why wasn't for the NeoVim, but for Windows? Dude, I fuck with Windows, man, Talua. I know a lot of people in the dev community just likes to shit on Microsoft and Windows, but, you know, I like especially what the developer division at Microsoft is doing. I like all those David Fowler, Scott Hanselman, Amanda Silver. I like all those people that work on the developer side at Microsoft. I really, you know, Anders Halsberg, Mads Torgerson. I think the world of those people and the tools they build. And yeah, I've got no bones to pick with Microsoft or Windows. The other thing I should say to Lou is, if I use something other than Windows, like if I used Linux, then I'd probably have to have Linux for development, and then I need another machine for all the content creation, which is kind of a pain in the butt. And also at the place I'm at in my life, I'm a 32-year-old dad of 2. I'm just not going to drop a couple $1,000s on a new MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. I'm just not going to do it. So I've relegated myself to Windows dev environment. It just makes the most sense for me at the moment. Maybe one day I'll make my way back over to Apple fanboy world. Because I would have definitely considered myself like an Apple fanboy up until the point I had kids. And then when I had kids, it was like, I just can't bring myself to spend that amount of money on a computer that just has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of memory. Let's see. Bacon says Vim commands are the best. They really are. And I've been trying to learn more of them. Like, you know, I've been trying to get better at, like, you know, if I want to select the whole function, right? Or let's say I want to select the whole if statement. I've been trying to get better at saying, like, okay, highlight at, or no, hold on. What is it? It's highlight 4J. So I've been trying to get better at using my Vim foo skills, but if you watch me code for a little bit, you'll see I'm not the sharpest tool in this shed. Suhas, you should try daily driving Linux. I think we've talked about this before, Suhas. That's definitely something I want to do. I just gotta gut up and do it. Bacon. So basically, we are making an API made for LLMs. Yeah, that's a great way to think of it, Bacon, right? Because the likelihood that people are going to go back and retool all these existing APIs that are in the wild to be LLM first is probably unlikely. So, yeah, I think that's a really good mental model to use. And Bacon says that's what we need, more layers of abstraction. Yeah. Next.js, anybody? Not to shit on Next.js, just there's lots of layers of abstraction there. Bacon, yeah, that actually does sound really useful. Happy birthday. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. By the way, tell me the time you read this message. There's probably a huge delay. I'm guessing 2 to 3 minutes, and it's driving me crazy. Yeah, so it's 9:28 p.m. as I read this message. And I think there is. I don't have a stream delay on, but there must just be one, I think. I think between your message getting to me and then depending on how many messages I'm behind on, you know, because I'm reading other people's stuff. Yeah, I think it does come across like a delay. So I apologize, man. What can we do? The electrons have to travel across the wires and through space. Suhas, I'm going getting some groceries by. See you, Suhas. Have a good day, man. Have a good Monday. Sogo says, I find Control. Good to see you too, Sugo. By the way, I find Control W is faster way to select. So hold on. You're saying Control W? Huh. Control W for me just opens window management thingies. Or does it do different things in selection mode? No. It just, mine seems to always just manage windows. Maybe my binds are different. Rage. It's just a minute. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I probably am exacerbating the delay since I'm trying to like also keep up with reading each message. So yeah. Toad Sage, use VW. Let's see. VW. Oh, so that VW selects to the beginning of the next word. So it basically does what W does, right? So W moves you to the beginning of the next word. So VW goes, nice, that's nice. And then I guess if you do VB, you go backwards. Let's see, VB. Nice. Yeah, okay. I didn't think to combine these commands. Like I said, my Vim my Vimvu is weak. I'll have to do better, guys. I apologize. Talu, I'm going to subscribe for later. Well, I appreciate that, Talu. Thanks for stopping into the chat, man, hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Toad Sage, hello, nice. Yeah, hey, what's up, Toad Sage? It's been a minute. I know my stream schedule's kind of been working against you, and there's a couple other guys that have sent me comments. They're like, hey, sorry I can't be in your streams. But yeah, streaming during the day has been a whole thing. Bacon, watch this turn into a stream about learning Vim. Well, the other day, I tell you what, I was working on this. Was that yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday, Saturday. And there was a guy in my chat named Butterscotch, and he was hooking me up with some really good. Like he was teaching me what was the one to copy between apostrophes. So he was showing me that if I push Y, I, apostrophe, that will yank everything from here to here, and then I can just paste it in there. So that was one I learned yesterday from one of my chatters. So I always appreciate it. I'll be completely honest with you. I won't always do the commands correctly, but it's good to know they're there. Lazaro, that is a really nice message, man. That's really kind of you. Yeah, I'm hoping the birthday goes well too. I think it'll be fun playing hooky with my wife. We'll probably maybe go out to eat, maybe go see a movie or something. We'll make the most of it. And yeah, of course, I love coding, hanging out and talking to other people that like to code, drinking coffee. You know, I'm a wealthy man. Talu, it's 5:32 a.m. Dang, you're early bird. You're either early bird or you're a very late night owl. Let's see, Code Brew CS. Hey, what kind of MCP server are you building? Okay, so obviously there's lots of third-party APIs out there, right? And so I work for a company called Onspring. We make a piece of software for governance, risk, and compliance. But for the purposes of us all here, you can basically just think of it as a place where data is stored, right? And so we expose this data through a public API. And so I'm building an MCP server to talk to that public API, right? So theoretically, people can, wire like Claude Desktop up to their instance, and they'd be able to bring in data from Onspring into their conversation or their context window. It's not for work, like work isn't sponsoring this stream or supporting any of this content creation. It's just I wanted to learn about an MCP servers or MCP in general, and I know that API really well, so that way I can focus more on the MCP server and less on learning some other API or other thing, right? Toad says, "Hey, today is your birthday, man." Tomorrow, the 21st, which may already be tomorrow for you, Toad Sage. The 21st is my birthday. To Lou, very late guy. I sleep at 10 a.m. generally. Jesus, man. So you're like a nocturnal. You're like a nocturnal creature. Nights just feel extremely comfortable. They do. Calm, relax. Yeah. Either really early mornings or real late nights, right? Because nobody's there to bug you. I feel you there, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for the happy birthday wish, Sogo. Appreciate it. Code Brew. I see that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, that's. I mean, it's really, on its face, it's really not super complicated, right? Because you're really just trying to kind of what who said that earlier? I think it was Bacon said that. We're basically just building an LLM first API on top of an existing API, right? So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it at the moment. Hunter, yo, it's Steven. Yo, what's up, Hunter? Sogo says, remember to like the stream for Steven's birthday. Oh, a like would be nice. A subscribe would be nice, but no pressure. Toad says, happy birthday from the future. Yeah, it's weird, man. Time zones are weird. Like, we're time traveling right now. Some of y'all are already on the 21st, and I'm still stuck on the 20th. It's a weird thing, huh? It's a weird thing. Thanks, Code Brew. I appreciate that. Code Brew, how long have you been coding for? So, Code Brew, I started learning how to code 2021. I had a little bit of experience with coding prior to that. I took, I was a biochemistry major in college. That's what my degree's in. But I took Programming 1 and Programming 2 as electives my senior year in college. So I had a little bit of experience prior, but I got really serious about it in 2021 when my oldest kid started kindergarten. I don't know. I just had this like deep sense of motivation that like he was going off to school and he was going to learn all this stuff. And, by the time he was a 5th grader, he'd be this really capable, smart little human. And I thought to myself, hey, what are you going to be like in 5 years? Because the time's going to pass, whether I like it or not. And so I thought, I should pick up a new skill. I should apply myself to learn something new. And based on where I was working and what I was doing, I thought, coding would be something that would be very beneficial to me professionally. And it would also just be another skill, another tool in my tool belt. So I got real serious about it in about 2021. So 4-5-ish years that I've been learning. And I've had a blast. It's become one of my favorite hobbies. And I get to do it a little bit professionally now too, which is great. All right, so I was sitting here thinking about what I'm doing, and I have a little bit of a conundrum. So one of the things I'm asking the LLM to do is I'm asking the LLM to generate a list of fields that it wants to get data back for. And then I'm also asking it to provide a filter. The thing is, I have to get information about the fields that they requested. So I need information about the fields they requested, which is why I have this function call in here. But I also need to get information about the fields that they reference in their filter. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have another method that basically collects all the names that are referenced by the filter. So yeah, this I tell you what, writing this get queries records tool has just been such a nightmare. Trying to write the tool in such a way that's very friendly to the LLM, but at the same time then massaging all that information into the right information for the API that I'm talking to. But that's half the fun, right? That's the puzzle. That's half the fun of the puzzle. Tolu, I was just watching the live stream in bed while scrolling through my shorts. Now I've switched to my PC. I really like the way you talk. Oh, I appreciate that, Tolu. You just look like a genuine programmer. Yeah, I would say so. I like to lift weights. I've been super into fitness for a long time. I enjoy writing code. Code Brew, W answer. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. So good. Do your kids take any interest in you coding? They know I do it. They both watch YouTube. So like they both have access to my channel. They watch YouTube Kids, but YouTube Kids allows parents to share channels to them that aren't necessarily kid channels. So they see the videos and stuff I post, and their advice to me is just that I should play video games on my channel. They think I would get more views and more subscribers. The one thing though, I would like to teach my kids to code. I tried early on with my oldest, like he was probably 5 or 6. We signed up for this program called Coda Kid. And we tried to do like Minecraft mods with Java, but I think the feedback loop there was just too slow. It didn't keep him interested. Just didn't keep him interested enough. And so I would like to try again, maybe with like some sort of browser-based game development. I think might be interesting. Maybe it might grab his attention more. But I definitely would like both of them to learn. Even if it's just very basic rudimentary coding, I just think that skill of being able to like think logically and break down a problem into smaller sets of problems could be a really valuable skill set. So oh, hey Tulu, I just saw your Discord thing. I approved that just now. It must be new, yeah. I'm not a big Discord. The Discord was largely came from the stream. Some people on stream asked for it, so I'm not very Discord savvy. So it may be new. Bacon, are you into competitive programming, Steven? Which language? I saw some of your videos where you did Advent of Code as well as wholesome videos of your family. I'm not into competitive programming. I did do Advent of Code. I did Advent of Code for the first time in 2023, and I had so much fun. So when it came back up in 2024, I thought, you know what? I'm going to stream this. I want to record this. And yeah, it was a blast. But I don't really compete. Like you can see my scores. They're not very good. It took me 6 or 7 hours to do some of those challenges. So I'm definitely not the fastest programmer in the world. Code Brew. Man, speaking of your kids coding, how do you think tools like Cursor are going to affect that? I think they're going to democratize it, right? I think it reminds me of a lot of what other no-code and low-code tools have done for people who want to build stuff. But I still want to push my kids to write the code themselves. I want them to have that forcing function, right? Of thinking through how to order your if statements, right? I want them to work through that. And I don't know if using something like Cursor is going to be the best way for them to still acquire that way of thinking. But yeah, I think of it. I think Cursor and vibe coding is more about this idea of trying to democratize the ability to build to people who maybe don't know how to code, which most definitely could be can go horribly wrong, right? But hopefully it's all net positive. Bacon, let him work with an embedded project with Python or C. Those are always really fun to work on. It will teach them valuable. Yeah, okay. So some sort of like hardware-based project, Bacon. That might be interesting. Like a little Raspberry Pi. We could do some sort of experiments or something. You know, it might be fun. Tulu. I'm from Turkey, by the way. Discord is banned in my country. We are slowly evolving into Russia. Well, I mean, I don't know a ton about international politics, but that really sucks that Discord's banned. But, you know, regardless of whatever politics are involved, it seems lame. I have to use a VPN or DPI blocker or something. That's frustrating, man. Sorry about that. Make them code an MCP server and assembly. I don't even know how to write assembly. We'd have to learn together. Yeah, we'd have to learn together. Let's see. So I'm gonna need another call here that's called like filter fields, and then I'm gonna need something called like get field names from filter. This doesn't exist yet, but it's going to. Excuse me. Get field names. Whoops. Get field names from filter. Yeah, we're basically going to do the same logic, aren't we? We're basically going to have a very similar function to what we're doing up here, only now we're just trying to get all the names, all the field names. Let's see if Copilot can help us with this one. Let's see, const field names, traverse. Yeah, but I don't want to do this. Yeah, let's make a set would be good. But I don't want to do this recursively. I'm not a big fan of recursion myself. I know it looks real elegant, but I don't know. It seems like sometimes it's difficult for people to wrap your minds around it after the fact. So you could teach them how to make RuneScape bots. Interesting. I've never actually heard of RuneScape bots. So are those like just accounts that just farm resources? Or you can use the bot on your own account to farm resources? I've never heard of that. RuneScape bots? That's interesting. God, I used to want to play RuneScape so much when I was, in like middle school, and my dad was an IT guy. He worked in IT at our high school, and he was so anti using computers for gaming. Let's see, RuneScape bots. What are RuneScape bots? Yeah, I guess you just some sort of automated, right? Whatever you want to accomplish with the bot, I guess. Interesting. I didn't know people did that. Actually, making video game mods is a really good suggestion too, especially if they are already interested in games like Minecraft. Yeah, they're really interested in Minecraft. They both play Minecraft. They both play Fortnite quite a bit. Lately, the big obsession has been Power World. Are you guys familiar with that? We've been playing that together, and it's been fun because I grew up playing Pokemon, and I think all of us who grew up playing Pokemon wished there would have been a Pokemon game like Power World. So that's been fun. Toad Sage, I suggest teach him some good problem-solving skill. You should give the try to Crunch Labs. I have gifted the subscription to my 8-year-old niece. She loved it. Oh, that's awesome to hear, Toad Sage. So my oldest asked for a Crunch Labs subscription. That's on his birthday list. So that's good to hear that other people had good experience. He's 8 too. He'll be 9 in the summer. So that's cool to hear. Amir, hey, what's up, Amir? First time seeing you here. What are you doing? So what I'm doing at the moment, Amir, is I'm talking a lot. I'm not doing a ton of coding. The thing I'm trying to build is a model context protocol server. is what I'm trying to build. Sogo, yeah, I run about 50 accounts on RuneScape. Way to go, Sogo. You productive son of a bitch. Talu, there's a mode called Open Computers. Check it out right now. It's so beautiful. Let's see. Open Computers. This is for Minecraft? Oh, that's cool. They've got like a terminal in Minecraft. Look, there's an init.lua file. It's all Lua files. That's cool. Okay. Very cool. I did not know that existed. Thank you very much for that recommendation. Toad says, hey, Pokemon mentioned. Yeah, Pokemon's great. Have you seen that? That's actually, have you guys seen the emulators that you can get for your phone? I've been playing, one of the things I do before, like, to help me go to bed is I'll play, Pokemon Red. You can't really see it that good. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. That brings me back to my childhood, for sure. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But yeah, I play that before bed. It helps me go to sleep, I find. Nice, you'll love it if he has that. Yeah, he already has it on the list, so it's nice to hear other people have had good experience with it. AW, how long you been coding? Are you in fear of AI? So I've been coding for 4-ish years, 5-ish years. I'm not in fear of it. I do definitely think it's something like you should be learning to work with and learning to use, but yeah, I'm not fearful of it at all, man. And I think the more you use it, the less fearful you become of it, because the more you interact with it, the more you use it, the more you realize how much of this AI hype bro stuff that's going on LinkedIn or Twitter is just complete hype. It's investor bait. It's all BS for the most part. I mean, are these systems powerful? Are the technologies really useful? They can be, but they're not going to replace software engineers anytime soon, in my opinion. So I've been meaning to ask, do you ever use any AI to help coding, and which one do you prefer? So in my editor, Sogo, I have Copilot, so you can kind of see Copilot working there in the background there. That's who's giving me these completions at the moment. So yeah, I definitely use AI. I like Copilot autocomplete. I tried VS Code Copilot agent mode, and that I didn't care for. The other way I use AI is I use them kind of all interchangeably, but like ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, Gemini, I'll go into their UIs. Like I'll just open up Gemini sometimes. Like I'll use Gemini as an example here, but I kind of interact with them all the same, where I'll say something like, I want to build, I'll basically have something in mind, but it's very much a blank page problem where like I sort of kind of know what I want to do, but I'm not 100% certain what that would look like, but I know enough to kind of look at something and say, yeah, that seems like it. And so yeah, I'll do stuff like that. Like I'll say, like, I'll just use a simple example, but I'll be like, I want to traverse a tree of filters that each have a name property. Can you show me an example of how you do it in TypeScript? Like I'll do stuff like that. And I find the benefit in this is that I can kind of look at it and be like, okay, I see what you're doing there. Um, and then kind of figure out how I would want to do it, right? Kind of like an inspiration piece. So I definitely use it, for sure. Hell yeah, NeoVim and Minecraft. I'd love to try it for sure. Pokemon Red is good. I like Pokemon Yellow more though. Yeah, Pokemon Yellow was awesome. Mela. Which theme are you using? I'm using. I'm pretty. I always have to look. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's One Dark. So it's One Dark Dark is the name of the theme. Whoops, I didn't mean to zoom in there. This one. That's the one I'm using. And I've liked it. It looks pretty good in all the different languages I use, so I've stuck with it. Emerald is my favorite, Gen 3. However, Heart Gold is my favorite game. Yeah, I've been playing. So I've been playing Pokemon Red on my phone in the emulator. I also have Pokemon Violet on my Switch, and that's been a lot of fun to play because that's the kind of Pokemon game I wish I would have played growing up. Is the kind of the open world type of 3D, right? That's the kind of experience I wish I would have grown up playing with. Let's see, AW, are you coding to start a business or get a job? AW, really, I'm coding and programming to get better at coding and programming, and just out of sheer enjoyment, right? It's definitely helped me in my day job. So I work as a quality engineer. So I do both automated and manual testing for a software company, for a web application. I'd love to be able to have a small little micro SaaS that makes me $1,000 a month, but so far I haven't come up with any ideas that seem worthwhile to build. So most of the time I'm just building for myself and for my own enjoyment. Tolu, I don't advise you check your Discord. Hold on. Okay, that makes me want to go check them now. Let's see. Is that assembly? Is that what that is? Tolu? This is a bare metal TCP server. It does basically 0.1% of MCP, but the basic structure is ready. You can embed a JSON part. Wow. Dude, that's wild. You just wrote that up right now? God damn. I wish I was that fast at programming any language, let alone assembly. Suhas, hello. Suhas, welcome back. Hope you got your groceries safely, man. Emerald, Fire Red, second, third Pokemon, 3DS, man, X and Y, and 3DS. Yeah, I'd never had a 3DS. Yeah. My last real hardcore Pokemon experience growing up was on the Game Boy. And then I think there was some game that we would plug into the Nintendo 64. And I don't remember what that game was. Pokemon Nintendo 64. We played the heck out of that game. Pokemon Stadium, that's what it was. We played the hell out of that game, me and my brother. But then by that time, we then had the consoles, and the Game Boys kind of went by their wayside, and I didn't really pick up Pokemon again until the Switch, really. Yeah, Toad Sage knew it right off the top of his head. Pokemon Stadium. Artwork Studios, what's up, man? How you been? My stream schedule's been working against you, I know, dude, so it's nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Code Brew, have you done any formal comp sci or all self-learning? So yeah, it's all been self-learning. I mean, I guess I should say I did take Programming 1 and Programming 2 when I was a senior in college, which like I learned like, you know, hexadecimal and binary in Programming 1, right? We did like very, you know, brief coverage of those topics, right? Whatever you could do in 2 courses over, 2 semesters. But then I never touched it all. I never really looked at it ever again until like 2020, 2021. It's all been kind of self-learned. I did follow Free Code Camp. I have to give a big shout out to freecodecamp.org. They were super, super helpful early on when I was getting started learning web development. So big shout out to them. Bacon, I grew up with the Game Boy as well. Emerald was my last Pokemon game as a kid. Yeah, I don't even remember what the last one made. Well, we did have Game Boy Advances. And I think we had Ruby and Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance. So that may have been more my last hardcore Pokemon work. Tolu, it's very... He said, it's not a hard language. It's just very primitive. Well, it sure does look hard, man. But you're probably right. I just need to apply myself a little bit and I'd be able to understand it. Yeah, Stadium was amazing. I remember we had like a Rumble pack for it. Yeah, it was wonderful. Artwork Studios, great. How about you? I've been doing well, man. I know I say this every so often on stream, so I sound like the old man repeating myself, but I'm healthy. My kids are healthy. My wife's healthy, so we got food in the pantry. We got warm running water. I'm able to get on the internet and spend my free time coding. So yeah, I'm a wealthy man. Everything is going well here, and I'm hoping for you, Artwork Studio, it's going well too. Bacon, assembly and C is all I know. I'm more of a hobbyist. Nothing wrong with that, Bacon. Nothing wrong with that at all, dude. AW says, I read a lot of Rob Whaling. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Rob Whaling. Yeah, I don't know him. But he has a lot of good information on micro-SaaS. Is it realistic to have a one-man operated SaaS that makes $1,000 a month? Do you know anyone personally who has? I don't, AW. I don't. When I was personal training, so when I was a personal trainer, I coached people in person, but I also coached people online. And that was always my goal with my online programming was, man, can I get like 3 or 4 clients that paid me $200 or $300 a month for coaching and make like $1,000 a month? I figure if you could make $1,000 a month doing online personal training, you could probably build some micro SaaS that makes $1,000 a month. I think the hardest thing is obviously just going to be, what is this thing you're selling? How much can you charge for it? And that's usually going to, like, if it's a super premium product, like with personal training, right? Like I said, I could get $200 or $300 for a month's worth of coaching. You don't have to sell very many, right? But if you're selling something that's like a $5 course or $3 a month service or something, I don't know. It seems possible. I don't know anybody who's done it though, AW though, but I think it sure would be a cool goal to try to accomplish. Artwork Studios, what are you making today? I'm working on what's called a model context protocol server, Artwork Studios. It's kind of a mouthful, but it's basically like, think of it like an LLM first API. If that might be a helpful way to summarize it. Let's see, Bacon. There's a great game I play on my phone called Human Resource Machine. I always recommend it to anyone learning assembly. Okay, I'll put that in the back pocket, Bacon. Let's see, have you ever tried building a full-on SaaS or some platform? I haven't. The closest thing I built to sort of I don't even know if you want to call it a platform. As part of a hackathon, I built this. It's basically a. Oh, why is this? Oh, that's weird that the search expired. Huh. I wonder why the search's bad on this. I basically built like a Twitter clone, but it was kind of cool because it used let me see if I can find a video of it since I can't get to the I know I submitted it in the hackathon, so I know I have a link out there somewhere for it. But it was basically like a Twitter clone, but it supported long form and short form. Let's see. See if I can find it. There we go. Here's the video.
Hi there, my name's Steven, and this is my project submission for the Web Dev Cody Hackathon.
Yeah, so I basically built this. This was like a little, it's basically like a Twitter clone. But it's the coolest thing about it was like you could do like, it had like a really nice markdown editor. So it wasn't really like a SaaS platform, but it had a lot of functionality and it had a lot of rich functionality to it, and I worked quite hard on it. But I just haven't had any ideas lately about something to build and sell. Let's see, Sogo. I sent. Hold on, I've lost the thread here. Hold on one sec. I sent a Discord message if you ever want to check out RuneScape. Okay, for sure, man. Thank you. I wonder if there's any non-HR person who doesn't hate human resources. Well, human resources is just code for legal. Suas, if you are free, how much will you charge for the personal coach? Suas, I'm guessing you're talking about personal training, like fitness. I don't do coaching for that anymore, man. I stopped. I just kind of lost interest. I will happily write you a program, and charge you for a program. But I don't coach people through programs anymore. I just kind of lost interest in the kind of the hand holding that involves. Code Brew. So I guess you could technically build it, but then selling it is a different game. Yeah, totally, man. Building versus selling is marketing and selling is the whole name of the game, man. Artwork Studio sounds cool. It was cool. I really enjoyed making it. Yeah, Toulouse talking about MCP. Oh, thank you very much. We'll pin that. We can pin that for sure. Suas, bro, not reading my comments. Sorry, Suas, I didn't mean to miss your earlier comments, man. I kind of fell behind. I got distracted. Yeah, it is still up, and I don't know why I'm hitting that. Either my cert's gone bad or something. Yeah, error, cert common name invalid. I have to go do some digging. Let's see. I think I can get to it though. I don't think I have to go to it on that URL. I think there's another URL I can use. Let's see. Settings. Oh, I guess Convex changed their policy. You can only do custom domains on paid accounts now. So that URL is not going to work anymore. So how do I... Oh no, that should be on Vercel. It's hosted on Vercel is where it's hosted on. So we should be able to go to this guy. See if it all still works. Oh, I bet the clerk login doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Something's funky with the URL that I set up. And I probably don't want to troubleshoot that right now, lest I break it further. I showed it off not too long ago, so I'm surprised it's not working. Yeah, it's weird. Vercel says my custom domain is valid configuration and it's been assigned, but not sure what's going on there. Artwork Studios try Netlify. I've never actually used Netlify to deploy anything, but that's awesome. Thanks for the recommendation. Maybe I'll give it a try. I've been trying to host things more on my VPS more than anything now. AW Steven, here's the idea. Build an app that will tell you when to eat to lose weight. You will put in all your info and the app will tell you how much and when to eat. Interesting. So what, like just like timer based meals, huh? You say, okay, you based on your height and body weight, you should eat 2,000 calories a day spread across 4 meals, and then we just create automatic timers that say eat your food now. AW, what's your thoughts on no code? I don't think there's anything wrong, AW, with no code. Definitely nothing wrong there. Suhas, what is the guest thinking about a website where you go and just write complaints? I don't know. Basically like a place to vent. I don't know, man. That seems like it could be good or it could get really bad. Talua, VPS hosting company. I host my website on my smart fridge. Man, you're like something out of Silicon Valley, huh, Talu? Yeah, I've been trying to do more on the VPS just so I don't have to deal with other people's usage and pricing and all that stuff. Artwork Studios, maybe you should voice act it too. So yes, that's called a diet planner. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's the one app that's out there today that I think really really highly of. There's 2 apps. There's the Renaissance periodization app. I think really really highly of that app, and then I think really really highly of this app called My Macros Plus. And so I just don't know if I could compete with those, you know? And I don't know anything about mobile development. And that seems like an app that really should have a mobile app. But maybe that's a good reason to try it so that I have to learn how to develop for a mobile app. I mean, I know I can build a responsive website, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. Talu, the new Guilfoyle. Have you guys seen Dave Eddy on TikTok or YouTube? Here, I'll pull up his stuff real quick. I love his content, but to me, he's like the real life. He's like the real life Guilfoyle. You guys should go subscribe to him if you like Bash and you like kind of like low level computer programming content. Oh no, so his name's Dave Eddy, but his account is You Suck at Programming, I think is his account. Yeah, there it is. You Suck at Programming. You need to go subscribe to this guy. But like, doesn't he look like the real life Guilfoyle? It's great. It's really great. He's very funny. he's obviously very knowledgeable, way more knowledgeable than probably I'll ever be about computers and programming and stuff. But someone mentioned Guilfoyle, and every time I think of Guilfoyle, I always think of this guy too. Let's see. Remember, there's no cloud. It's just someone else's computer. That is 100% Tolu. And as someone who's like very much in that kind of like learning and growing and trying to improve my skills, I think being forced to deal with my own server, even just for my small little toy hobby projects, is probably a good use of my time. Even though I may not ever do that professionally, I think it just demystifies things, right? When you understand, you know, to get a Docker container running on a remote server, right? I've got to build the Docker file. I've got to push the Docker file to some place, and then I've got to SSH into that server, and I've got to pull the Docker file, and I've got to run it. It demystifies all of the magic that a lot of these platforms or managed backends or managed hosting services do for you. And I will say, it also makes you appreciate them more, because then you realize how much complexity they're abstracting for you and how easy they make it, which is great. Hamza, can I have your contact information? I have a lot to learn from you. I don't know if you have a lot to learn from me, but the best place I'd probably recommend you go, Hamza, is if you go to my channel, my main channel page. You go to the channel links or the channel description. My LinkedIn is in there. You're welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. Oi, Dr. Mike. Dude, Dr. Mike is the boss. Huh? Dr. Mike is awesome. We're talking about Code Brew. I think you're talking about the same guy. Me and you are talking about the same guy. Mike Israetel. Right? I think that's who you're talking about. He's great. His company, man, if you guys want a great training program, check out the RP Hypertrophy app, or some of their, they have some templates still on their website that are really, really good. I know we've kind of devolved away from coding and programming here, but that's how it goes. Artwork Studios. I've been trying to make an OS, but it's not going great. I don't think I would ever take on making an operating system. I don't have the development chops for that, man. So, you know, I'm rooting for you. I'm not sure how far I would ever get. Yeah, Code Brew. We're talking about the same guy. Yeah, I really admire, like, as somebody who used to work in the fitness industry and be deep in that world, I really admire the work that Renaissance Periodization does. They're to me is like they're top tier in terms of content, both training and nutrition. I like Creel for low. I've never heard of him. Creel, huh? He on YouTube? Oh, he goes over assembly, huh? His channel description is literally this, or no, where was it? Oh man, all his stuff is assembly. All his videos are a bunch. All of this stuff would go so far over my head. Tolu, programming today is a race between software engineers trying to build bigger and better idiot-proof programs, and the universe is trying to build bigger and better idiots. So far, the universe is winning. Yeah, the universe is probably always going to win that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's see how Copilot did on this get names from filter thing, huh? Let's see, we'll just add we'll add a test here. Describe get names from filter. And we'll say test I don't really care about that. It should return an array of all field names in filter. Created by status. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Chi-Chi. Get field names from filter. That's what it's called. Get. I can't even remember what I call my own functions. Get field. Whoops. Field names. Alright, let's see if Copilot implemented that function right. It looked okay. npm run test. Let's see. Oh, because it's not. It's a set. This should be new set. Nice. Thank you, Copilot. That was very helpful. Okay, so now we can go back to my tool. So the reason I have to do this is because then I want to say const fields to look up, and then because this way I'll make sure I get the information for both the fields that are being included, data is being included for, as well as fields that are referenced in the filter. Code Brew said, trying to code on live stream, 1 line of code per hour. Yes, that has been me tonight, which I apologize, guys, because I don't want you to think that I'm just some dude who shows his sick NeoVim setup and then never writes a line of code. But that has definitely been me tonight. I've averaged about 1 line of code. Let's see. Please accept. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Sorry. I don't actually see. Oh, yeah, I do. I see 2 new requests on the Discord. Let me approve you guys. 1 second. Approve. And approve. I appreciate you guys joining our Discord. We've got a bunch of smart people in here, and I really appreciate all you guys jumping in. Let's see. It's like an algorithm Olympics. It's fun though. Yeah, it is fun. I think he is just having fun. It's not about productivity. Yeah, Bacon. Like I think I've said that before on stream that like if I really wanted to be very productive, I probably shouldn't work on projects on stream. Oh, very cool. People are going to link up in Discord and talk about projects. I love that. That is one of the coolest things so far about streaming, is having like a group of people that are all kind of interested in the same thing. That's been kind of cool to see. I've really actually the best part about streaming recently has been I've had people who have come back like to multiple streams, which has been cool. So for like familiar faces, which is kind of nice. It's not just a lone guy sitting in a room talking to himself. Code Brew, wait, how do I join Discord? Code Brew, if you go to my main channel page, there are some channel links, and one of them is a Discord invite that you can use to join. It's not a huge community, you know. There's just like 30 of us in there now, but everyone's super nice so far, and we try to keep it good vibes and kind and playful, have fun, you know. So definitely. There's also a couple of voice channels in there too. There's one for developing, there's one for hanging out. So if you guys are interested in even using those to coordinate on some of the stuff you want to talk about, feel free. And I'm happy to add more channels too, you know, as people request it. I actually need to delete a channel. Someone said I should archive it. So you can archive it? You archive it. Huh. I don't know how to... I'm just going to delete it. There we go. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to keep going here a little bit on this. Let's see, we got some new members yet. Ah, okay, Tulu. Thanks, man. I appreciate the Discord advice, because my Discord skills are pretty weak. Pretty weak indeed. Okay, so now we're getting the requested fields. And in here, so what this is returning just an index, which is the ID, and the field's name. But what I really want is I actually want to return the whole field now. So instead of a string, I want this to be field. That's what I want to return. Then this needs to be updated now, so I need to go to this definition. This is going to be field. And now this is not going to be, this is going to be field. Field dot name, like that. Let's see, we got some other issues here. Definition. This just needs to be updated. There we go. Okay. So the whole point of doing that, is so now I can pass requested fields here. This is going to be fields, which is going to be an object that has index of type number and field. Suhas, I think you should make me the moderator. Do you know the difference between moderate? I do know the difference between moderator and admin. I'm just not comfortable yet with delegating out permissions to my server quite yet. Maybe one of these days. Maybe as the community gets a little bigger, we'll have a need. Artwork. Something cool about live streaming is that we all come from different parts of the earth, but we can all join up in this cozy space to talk. Yeah, 100%. That's actually, I've had to, the whole time zone thing has been the biggest mindfuck for me personally, because I'm just not used to interacting with so many people across so many different time zones. Oh, I see Code Brew is now going to be a member of our Discord. Very cool. Appreciate you, man. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should probably mute my Discord. Yeah, we wouldn't want someone spamming Discord pings into our stream, would we? Code Brew. Okay, I joined the server. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for jumping in. All right, so now that we've got this, we should be able now. Basically, the whole reason I need this here is then I need to pass that down into. I need to pass that down into here. So this is going to be index number field. And then up here, we are going to say format rule. Go to this. And this we can actually call a rule. Let's see, filter. Oh, whoops. I'm already in this file. Cannot find rule. Why can't you find rule? Oh, because I haven't typed it. Type rule. There you go. Perfect. I think this is angry just because it's not returning anything at the moment, but I'm gonna make it return something. So this should be return that. But actually what we want to do is we want to say const we actually need to, we have to iterate here. So const what is it? How do I get it's entries, right? That's how I do, or no. Yeah. Can't I do like ID field and say of object dot entries? Yeah, I can do this. We're gonna go to lowercase. Lowercase, although I don't want to mutate this. Yeah, I don't want to mutate that. Field, or let's say let field ID, set that to 0. Oh, that's weird. Objects returns me... Huh. Maybe I just do ID in fields like this. And then I have to do that weird parsing. And then we can just say that. Oh, it's still a string there. Oh, interesting. Even if the index is typed as a number. Huh. Because basically, I need to do this basically so I can do this. Because I want the LLM to talk in terms of field name, but this rule needs to actually be field ID. There's got to be a better way to do this, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna add a note here, just like, any better way than just iterating? Probably not, but because I kind of need, the other thing this method is going to do is it's also going to take into account the type of field. That's the other thing it's going to have to take into account is the type of field. Let's see. Did I lose you guys? Let's see. Oh, thanks to Lou for all those ideas, man. I'll try to look at those. The goated professor. Only app mentions. Oh, okay, yeah, I can turn the notifications off. Oh, actually, I have the notifications right now set to nothing. I'm not sure why I was getting ping ping. I think it was because people were direct messaging me. Artwork Studios. I'm happy that you have so many guys watching your live stream because waking up or coming back from school and watching these live streams are amazing. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that you enjoy them. Tolu, I spitted some advice. Yeah, I saw it, Tolu. Thank you very much. Toast's quote of the day. Happiness is like peeing in your pants. Everyone can see it, but only you can feel warm. Where did you get that, man? Where did you find that, Toast? I've literally never heard that. Oh, yep. That's what I should do. I think that's what I'm getting is DM alerts. Hold on. Let's see. Online. Do not disturb. Thank you very much. I'm just going to set it for an hour. I tell you what, I'm sorry. I'm a 32-year-old dad too. You know, my Discord game is so weak. It's so weak, but I appreciate you guys helping me out. Let's see. If you want to get into the SaaS building community and get your creative juices flowing, you should really watch Greg Eisenberg. Yeah, I would love to, man. Is he on YouTube too? Greg Eisenberg. We vibe code a 90K month SaaS app in 64 minutes. What? That seems a little hyperbolic. I don't know if I don't know. I'll give this guy a shot, man. On its face, his content seems not really my thing, but I'm gonna take you at your word, Code Brewer, and I'll watch a couple videos. You know, don't judge a book by its cover, right? That's what we're after. The guy I like, the YouTuber that I like, that's kind of in this similar vein. What is his name? He's like a Norwegian. Let me see if I can find him. I've got so many YouTube subscriptions. What is his name? Simon? I think his name's Simon. Simon Hoiberg? Is that his name? Yeah, this is the guy that I've been following for the last year and a half. I really enjoy his videos. Like, his YouTube videos are like top-notch quality, production quality. But I'm guessing that guy that you recommended to me is kind of along the same line. So I will definitely give him a watch. Tallulah, you're enough, Steven. We love you. Thank you for the what do you call that? The self affirmations. I'm enough. I am enough. Bacon. Well, I'm actually about to go to bed. However, I can share a bunch of books and stuff I have. Yeah, Bacon. Sure, man. Send them on over. Especially now that you're in the Discord. We will take all. I at least will take all the recommendations you got. Code Brewer. Yeah, he's on YouTube. His channel is a gem for sure, man. I'll definitely check it out. Unique UX channel reviews. My next. I learned about MCP. Thanks for that. I like Web Dev Simplified because his name is Kyle, like me. I really like Web Dev Simplified. I think I've mentioned before to some of you guys that I'm a big fan of Web Dev Cody. And Web Dev Simplified kind of falls into that same bucket of YouTubers who really... Those guys' content really helped me as I was learning how to program and learning how to code. And it still does. But yeah, so I second Unique UX. I second your Web Dev Simplified recommendation. Long time subscriber myself. Yeah, Artwork Studios. If you ever remember who it is, definitely let me know. Unique UX. He's legit. I've been following for a while. Yeah, he is definitely legit. Tallulah, it's a bromance. Suhas, 2 hours. Wow. Yeah, this has been a longer stream. I when I can stream for longer, I do like to do it. It's just, during the week with work and kids and all that stuff, it's just, and at night is typically when I spend more time working on like heads down on projects. So I try to, during the week, I try to stream, over lunch for an hour or so. That's really all I have time for. But if I could stream longer, I totally would. And so like for tonight, like tonight, there's nothing pushing me off the computer. So I'm happy to hang out. Yeah, he straight business nonstop. Yeah, I agree, man. King Nadish. I was watching Ray Dalio interview. I like Ray Dalio. I've read his book. Have you read his book? It's called Principles, I think is the name of his book. It's very good. He's obviously a very intelligent man. I mean, he's either very intelligent or very ruthless man, because you don't accumulate that much wealth with one or the other. Without one or the other. Coding with Lewis. I'm all about giving other creators and... Oh yeah, someone else recommended this to me. Someone said I kind of looked like him on a stream. Or that my face reminded them of him. I'm subscribed, actually, see? Someone else had recommended his channel. That's funny. King Nadesh. Can't tell if he is legit or not. He's legit, man. I mean, you can go look up his hedge fund. There's a book I read just recently that was kind of a what was it called? What would you call it? Let me see if I can find the name of it. It was basically like a teardown of Ray Dalio about like how bad the Bridgewater Associates company is and how poorly it treats people. So yeah, I don't know. I've now that I've read his book and then I read that other book, I'm like, I don't know what to think. But obviously, you know, he's a successful individual. I think Bridgewater Associates has let's see, holdings. Let's see how much money they hold or manage. Bridgewater Associates total assets. Yeah, I think they have close to. Yeah, they currently stand at $92 billion in assets under management. So I mean, they're. I don't know how you want to look at that. They're either doing something very right or very wrong, depending on how you look at the world. Touring stream hours are just perfect for me. It seems that it usually hits between my 6 and 11 p.m. Nice. Good. I'm glad it's working out for you, man. I always feel bad because I know just with time zones when I stream, not everyone, it's not going to line up for everybody, but we do the best we can, you know? Suhash, you do look like him, yeah. Someone said that. I can't remember who it was. Steven is actually Lewis. The Steven person is just his sub channel. That would be pretty. That would be quite. God, that guy has like 1 million followers, right? I can't even, or million subscribers. I can't even. Let's see, coding with Lewis. 675,000 subscribers. That's nuts. That's nuts. The scale of some of these guys' channels is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Suhas, I thought he was streaming, so I chose to stick around. Found you. Well, I mean, that's good, man. I guess it's good that we look alike. Gaming account. Man, just scrolling and this popped up. I can't swipe over. Well, thanks for stopping by, gaming account. We appreciate you hanging out, dude. Subscribed channels reveal. Yeah, I mean, I think my subscriptions are public, because I know people can choose to make their subscriptions public or not, right? And I think mine are set to public. Maybe not. But yeah, I'm always up for like putting on blast guys who make great content. Like, I've just benefited so much from people's willingness to create stuff and openly share. I think that's one of my favorite things about that's been one of my favorite things about the coding community in general. It's just how willing so many people are to build stuff that's really, really useful and then just willingly share it with other people. It's amazing. Artwork Studios. In fact, I'm going to head out soon. Oh yeah, no worries, man. First time I found your live stream, I thought you were Lewis for like 5 seconds. Chose to stay because this is a cool channel. That's awesome, dude. So that's 2 people that were like, I thought you were somebody else, but you won me over. That's fun. Unique UX. I just ordered UX for AI by Greg Nuttleman. Oh, that sounds like an interesting book. I think that's super. That whole UX for AI area is very interesting. This thing, is this what you're talking about? Is this a course or is this a book? Oh yeah, pre-order. How much is it? $50? That's not terrible. That's about what I spent on that AI, that LLM book. Let's see, I'm going to add this to my list. There we go. It's a very interesting area, right? Like designing for AI. I think it's interesting both from a UX perspective. I also think it's interesting from a development perspective of like even like what I'm doing right now with the MCP servers, like building with an LLM as the primary user. I think it's a very interesting thing. Don't know if it's always going to be useful, but with the current state of everything, it's very interesting. King says into John Wick. I love John Wick. Yeah, I love John Wick. Actually, what's really funny, King Nadish. So I've mentioned I'm a quality engineer for my day job, and so I have these automated tests, this automated test suite that I've written, and all the fake test data, the fake user, the system admin user that drives all the automation essentially like a user, is that user is named John Wick, and like all the test data and everything is John Wick themed. Or I try to make it as much John Wick themed as I can. I love those movies. Unique UX. Feeling overwhelmed by AI apps? Shockingly simple AI workflows made me $5,000 a day type YouTube channel. Interesting. Okay. Which I don't know, like that whole vibe of like earn $5,000 in a day type of vibe from a lot of content creators, not really my thing, but like I get it. People need to feed their families. They gotta hustle, you know. Terrat Destroyer. That's the most random message I think I've had in my chat in about 6 or 7 streams. So congratulations. One of my business friends told is the legal system's fault for not fixing it. Don't think it's the businessman's fault to exploit. I mean, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair. If you're not bringing any kind of morality into the situation, right? Like if you're just going based off incentives, yeah, I can see that. I think there's also a value to being able to rest your head on your pillow at night and sleep well, and yeah, I don't know. There's something to that. See Artwork Studio. Have a good day, man. Code Brew CS. Chip Huen's book on AI engineering. I've never heard of that, Code Brew. But I always will take. My reading list is already way too long, as is. But I'm always happy to add to it. Let's see. Chip Huen. AI engineering. Oh, that's an O'Reilly book. No, the book I was talking about is this one. Let me see if I can find it. This is it's an O'Reilly book, but this is the one I've been working through myself. It's about basically about just learning like how transformers are built and the architecture behind them. It's been good, other than I'm having to write everything in Python. Other than that, it's been good. Unique UX. I'm looking into interfaces that change by context. If we do it right, the UX will be invisible. Interesting. Very interesting. I have a colleague at work who's kind of more on the product side, or the platform side as we would call it, and he's super interested in that UX stuff too at the moment. He's very interested in rethinking about how users will interact with our platform if it's more accessible to LLMs, which I think is interesting. King Nadesh, bro, do you think I'm new to this channel? I don't think you're new to the channel. I know I've seen your username here before. Suas, I love it. It's a good book. Yeah, so far I've enjoyed it too. I've been making very slow incremental progress on it because I feel like I have to read every chapter 2 or 3 times to really soak up some of the information. But it's been very interesting. It's been very interesting to learn that so much under the hood of these transformers is just a lot of matrix multiplication. That's been very interesting. King Nadish, dude, are you interested in making a school community? I honestly don't know what that is, King Nadesh. Code brew. Oh, okay, these books are great. Yeah, I'll add that AI engineering one to my list too. They're a little pricey. O'Reilly books are a little pricey, honestly. Like $50 is kind of asking a lot, but I think the last time I spent $50 on a book was like a college textbook, or spent, I guess, more than $50, but I get it. People need to make their monies. I see Bacon is testing my knowledge. Which I think is funny, because he's putting me on the spot. I think if my kid was to ask me, I would say a matrix is a two-dimensional array. I think is what I would say. And maybe how would I explain that in a way that kids could understand? Like a list of lists, maybe, is what I would say is a matrix is. And then I think I would say like a tensor is like an n-dimensional array, right? So you can have a 2D tensor, right, which would be a matrix, but you can also have a 4D or 5D or a ND, right, dimensional tensor. Yeah, but I don't know how my kids would ask me, well, what's an array? I don't know. Is that what you were looking for, Bacon? Do I pass the test? King Nadish, can you make a wish list of the books and put it in the bio? Yeah, King Nadish, I can. I have a Kindle. I can make I buy almost all my books as Kindle books or audio books on Audible, so I can make a I can put together a list. Let's see, Toasties. I know LangChain, implement it with an app, but can't get the grasp of it. Yeah, I've not used LangChain personally a lot myself, so you probably know more about it than I do, Toadsage, at this point, even though you say you can't grasp it. King Nadish, you don't know Sam Ovens? I do not know Sam Ovens. Yeah, unique UX. It sounds like you're doing some interesting research, man. Very cool. Code Bruce says, I don't know how illegal it is, but I can send a PDF on the Discord. Yeah, I think it's illegal, so I'm just going to pretend like I don't even know what you're talking about. $50, our family's grocery bill. Yeah, I know. That's why like $50 is very pricey for a book. I totally agree. Code Brew. I specialized in deep learning in university. Honestly, the math behind LLMs and deep learning models is genuinely beautiful. Well, I can't appreciate it in the same way, I think, but yeah, I've just been very blown away by how much of it has to do with arrays of arrays and multiplying those arrays of arrays together. Bacon says, LOL, yeah, that's the way I understand it. 2D and ND arrays, yeah. Which is kind of interesting, right? Because that means, it's kind of like, basically every matrix is a tensor, but not every tensor is a matrix. It's one of those sort of things, right? Let's see, Talu says Hugging Face Transformers, Haystack, Deep Ming, and OpenAI's research, MLP, deep and machine learning things. It would really helpful to learn the basics as you start to understand how models work. Yeah, Talu, and that's I think what I'm finding as I go through this book is like there's a lot of layered knowledge, for me to still gain. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm learning. It's one of those, as Suhas would put it, it's one of those learning to learn type of things. Bacon says, I don't think you can post most books because of the size limit. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Discord's keeping us out of trouble already. Okay, I didn't just remove my illegal message. Yeah, I don't know if it's illegal, like, or frowned upon. I mean, I'm guessing people could sue you, for because you're breaking the copyright by distributing something you didn't have the express permission to distribute or something like that. I honestly don't mind paying for it. It's just, 30, 31, 32-year-old dad of two. $50 is not. It's not anything to minimize, and like Suha said, $50 is significant to some people. King Nadish, do you think YouTube UI is shit? I don't think so. I don't know. I kind of like YouTube's UI. The one thing though, okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed this. It must be, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's an Edge thing. One of the things I do notice is when I'm, like if I go to this guy's stream, this is one of the guys I like to watch play Call of Duty. If I go to his stream, and I don't know if I can demo this. Oh yeah, I can demo it. So let me make this a little bigger. So if his stream is like this, right? So he has chat over here. Oh god, I'm gonna spam you guys with ads. Hold on one sec. So the chat's over here, and so what I usually do is I usually put this into theater mode, like that. And for whatever reason, the chat gets like hung here when I click on theater mode. And if I X out of it, then it goes away. But I would assume if I go into theater mode, it would close that chat all the way down. That's one thing that's always that has bothered me about YouTube's UI. But for the most part, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I'm sure every UI has little quirks like that, people get hung up on. Doesn't bother anybody else, it just bothers that one guy. And that one guy happens to be me. Is it illegal if it's for free, but isn't the copyright only if I'm making money out of it? Oh, yeah, maybe you are right, Code Brew. Although I'm just not a lawyer, and I don't play one on the internet, So I'm always skeptical to trust my own judgment on those things. Suhas, bro, how much do you earn? How much money do I make, I guess is what you're asking me. I make enough, man. I always hate. I'm never afraid to talk about that stuff to people in my real life, But I hate to put that on blast on the interwebs. I earn enough, I should say. Do you ever get bothered by Discord because it drives me nuts? I've not been a big Discord user, so I only started using it really this year. I mean, I've had Discord servers like I'll go into Discord servers to get help with stuff or to help other people. Like I sometimes am active in the Playwright Discord or the Free Code Camp Discord, but I really started using Discord more like the last 3 or 4 months because of the YouTube channel getting more subscribers and people asking for a Discord server. So I don't really have anything bad to say about it now. Cole J said hi. Hello, Cole J. How are you? Bacon. Okay, I gotta go, guys. It was nice meeting all of you. Yes, Bacon. We had fun hanging out, man. Thanks for chilling with us. You have a good day, dude. Code Brew. Don't do it. IRS is watching. Yeah. Dude, the IRS took all my money. Oh my gosh, dude. The 15th. I used to look forward to the 15th of April, and now I do not. And I tell you what, man, those guys, they are when it comes to collecting your money, they are very prompt and on top of it. They are very efficient. Unique UX Playwright? You piqued my interest. Oh yeah, Unique UX. Do you know Playwright? Playwright.dev? That's what I was referring to as this the browser automation library. This is what we use. This is what I use at work to write our automated test suite. I think I think everyone should use playwright.dev. Like, forget Cypress, forget Selenium. Everyone should use Playwright. Selenium's fine. It's just old. It also is a little bit different of a tool. It doesn't, the benefit of something like Playwright is, it has access to not only the browser that's running your app, but it also has context to your app that's being run. And Selenium's just different. It's not as nice of a tool to work with. Cypress is okay. I think if you said if you told me you can't use Playwright, then I would probably pick Cypress. But I wouldn't want to work on. I actually was on the phone with a recruiter the other day talking about jobs, and I was very explicit. Like, I have no interest in working on any automation library that uses Selenium. Playwright is heavy. What do you? I thought you wrote plays. No, I do not write plays. Yeah, no, I don't write plays. Tosage says, "Does Playwright is heavy?" What do you mean, Tosage? I've literally written less than. Actually, someone said I wrote 1 line of code per hour this stream. I think I've written definitely more than 5 lines of code, and I've been live for 2 hours. So I'm writing like 5 lines of code an hour. But the change I made here broke all my tests because I changed the signature. Let's see. So now what do I need to do? Now I need to create like a whoops. Let's see. All the tests are failing now. Just fine, because we're gonna fix that. So let's do 0 to field. How many fields do we have here? Status. Created by age and role. So we have 4 fields that we need to. Look at Steven justifying his non-stream productiveness. Yes, I am justifying it. I mean, when you use Selenium, it's quite heavy on resources. Yes, it is quite heavy on resources. Playwright is too. I mean, you're still running an instance of a browser. I think their recommendation is for every one worker, for every one worker that's running an instance of a browser, you should have 2 logical cores on your machine behind it. So like if you have 14 logical cores, then you can run 7 workers at a time. And obviously the more workers you run, the more instances of browsers you run, the more you stress your resources, the more flaky the tests can become. So like when you run the tests in CI/CD environments, you only use 1 worker. But it's just, I mean, from a Playwright the API is just, its API is just so much better, right? So if you've written any sort of like React testing library type of test code or Vue testing library type of test code, Playwright's API is much more similar to that style of API. And it does a lot of it handles a lot of retry logic for you. It's just so much easier than working with Selenium, in my opinion. Tolu, test message. Okay, Tolu's testing his chat. Stephen was born to write code freely. Curious World, what is your MCP server supposed to do? So Curious World, it does what basically a lot of MCP servers do, is it basically goes and gets data from some other system and dumps it into the context window. And in this case, my other system is called Onspring. So it's a GRC, a governance, risk, and compliance piece of software. So people store data there that's related to their GRC programs and their business. And so this MCP server would basically allow them to talk to the LLM and reference that data, and the LLM would be able to go and get that data and put it into the conversation that they're having. To some of my messages were not sent. Oh, interesting. I removed a lot of my content filters, so I'm not sure why your messages wouldn't come through. Code Brew. To be fair, him streaming and speaking to his viewers is doing much more good to his channel than just finishing on focusing his NPC server. Reason I subbed is because of the interactions. Oh, that's good to know, man. And I said that before too, I feel like if you really wanted to be productive on a project, you probably wouldn't stream it at least. And I feel like part of streaming is the interaction, right? So if you guys are here hanging out with me and watching, I just feel like I sort of owe it, or I don't owe it, but that's part of the fun, right? Is talking to you guys. So yeah, the productivity, I run my mouth a lot and then the productivity goes down, but so be it, Unique UX. Copilot is pretty annoying sometimes, gets in the way. Yes, I 100% agree. It can be super helpful, but there are definitely moments where it's just so damn eager to complete something that you already in your mind know what you want to do. And in those cases, I just disable it. I just turn it off and go back to the Stone Age. Do it the old-fashioned way. I can't, what, honestly though, I can't imagine people who are programming before things like IntelliSense were a thing, right? Or type hints, right? Like all the fancy stuff we can do right now in editors, right? Where you can get like, you can hover and see information, and you can get like code completion for things. It must have been very painful. Pigeon, good morning. Hello, Pigeon. Long time no see, man. How are you? Gordon reacts, what programming language are you using? Right now I'm using TypeScript. So I primarily work, if I'm going to build something, it's probably these days going to be in TypeScript, or it's going to be in C#. Let's see. Tulua, check Discord DMs, find out about the test. Let's see. I think this was because of the word fuck. Yeah, which is funny because I would never judge anybody for commenting the word fuck, but it must have got picked up by some content filter. I thought I took most of those off. I'll have to go back and look at my content filters in my channel settings. Suos, how American can you even get, Freeborn? Oh, you can get pretty American. I mean, I grew up in Southwest Missouri, right in the Midwest, right in the middle of the country. Let me tell you, it can get pretty American around those parts. Voldy, hey Steven. Hello, Voldy. I actually saw you join the Discord the other day, and I told everybody on stream that Voldemort was in the chat now. Just promise not to use any of the 3 banned spells, right? What do they call them? 3 unspeakable curses. No, none of the 3 unspeakable curses in the chat. Talua, the real productivity was actually the friends we made along the way. You're right, Talua. Life is about relationships. I see. That's a pretty cool concept. How does the data retrieval work in this scenario? Would LLM tokenize all the data in when you are connecting to the MCP server? So the way the data retrieval works, or I guess I should say, the way the LLM participates is, let me go to my server. It'll make more sense if I show you some of the code. So like, we're going to create the MCP server. We're going to give the server a set of tools. If you're familiar with, let me see. This is the API I'm most familiar with. So in Anthropic's API, you describe tools in this way, right? So you tell the LLM, hey, here's this tool you can call if you want, but in order to call it, you need to provide these inputs, and the LLM generates those inputs, right? And so MCP is basically doing the same thing by saying, hey, the MCP server is basically doing the same thing, where when you configure your MCP server for an MCP client, the server is like declaring to the client, hey, there are these tools that you can call, and here are the inputs you need to call. And in this case, what I'm doing is I'm doing the implementation of those tools, right? So in this case, like in this tool example right here, I'm saying, hey, you can get the fields for a particular app, but you got to give me the app name, right? And so when I register this server with an MCP client, that client will say, oh, you're asking about fields in an Onspring app? Oh, I see I have a tool for that. And so it's gonna generate an app name, and then that app name is going to get passed into my server, or this MCP server, and then ultimately we're just calling a very deterministic piece of code that I've written, right? So we're kind of marrying the two worlds of like probabilistic nature of LLMs and deterministic code that some developer or some programmer wrote, and the LLM just is supplying arguments to the tool. Voldy, NeoVim is productive. It can be, except when you're running your mouth a lot on stream. Karsh, what's the name of the theme? The name of the theme, I always do a double check on this so I don't tell you wrong. It is One Dark Dark is the name of the theme. Pigeon, yo, all the stuff we do with LSP is possible with just grep. So yeah, they did it manually back then until it was built into editors. Honestly, Pigeon, if I had grown up in that time period, I don't know if I would have enjoyed coding. Because it just sounds very painful. And maybe you just got used to it, I guess, right? You just got used to it. Pigeon, anyone's cousin. Yeah. Let's see. How long did it take you to get you to 1.1k subs? So I've had this channel for a real long time, Code Brew, and it had 20 subscribers for the longest time. And I started making content in January. Yeah, in January of this year, and I had like 20 subs. So from January to now, I guess, so 3-4ish months. Pigeon pushing my band limits. Gotta have fun every now and then. Suhas, can you guys see this? I can see it, Suhas. Ut Koresh, I'm trying web application development, but sometimes while following lectures, I feel I'm not understanding but copying. What should I do? I'm learning to Django, by the way. Well, nice. Very cool. I think that's wonderful that you're interested in web development. Yeah, so it sounds like you're experiencing what a lot of people refer to as tutorial hell, which is a very real thing. There's nothing wrong with following lectures and copying code and following someone else's recipe. What I would encourage you to do is to pursue a project that is your own, that is of your own thought, that like you had a problem and you're like, I can build a program to help with that problem, and then go build it. And that's really going to help drive home for you what things you don't know, what things you do know, what things you need to get more clarity on. That would be my biggest advice to you. Unique UX. Everyone did a good job of making me scared of NeoVim. Well, Unique UX, you're not alone, because I had been watching the Primeagen for the last several years tool around in NeoVim and think there's no way I'll ever be able to replace VS Code with that. And the thing that got me over the edge, Unique UX, is a series of videos on YouTube by on a channel called Typecraft. He has a series on here, a playlist. It's called where is it? NeoVim for Noobs. So one night in January, I was laying in bed and I watched all of these videos start to finish, and this was the playlist that convinced me that I should give NeoVim a shot and that I can configure NeoVim as a suitable alternative to VS Code. So if you're interested, this is probably where I would start if I was you. It'll get you warmed up to the idea. Toad Sage, yep, I'm a noob compared to Steven. And Toad Sage, you are not a noob. I've chatted with you long enough to know you are not a noob. Suas, can you look in Discord? Sure, I can look in Discord. Oh yeah, so yeah, for whatever reason, fuck is getting flagged by in my chat in YouTube. So I'll look at that because it doesn't offend me. So maybe it's some setting I've got checked in my content moderations. Azim, going to the office. Thanks for the stream. Of course, Azim. Have a good day, man. Hope it's a kick-ass Monday for you. Utkaresh, thank you very much. I will connect with you when I build my CS50 Web's final project. Again, thank you very much for clarifying my doubts. Of course, man. Yeah, and CS50 is wonderful. I love David Malin and everything he does over there at CS50. Honestly, I think David Malin is probably the best teacher or best lecturer I've ever seen. I think if any subject was taught the way David Malin teaches CS50, there'd be a lot more excited people about learning. So, wishing you all the best on that journey, man. Good luck. Voldy, I have something to work on, and so I'll just be here. I'm still listening and in chat. Of course, Voldy. Yeah, man. Do your thing. That's what this is for, you know? I always tell people, like, I kind of want my streams to feel like we're all at a coffee shop, and, like, there's a bunch of us. We've all got our laptops open. We got good music. We got coffee, and we're all kind of hacking, you know, and having good conversations and just good vibes. So do your thing, Voldy. Loading Legend says, I bought a Dell Latitude 54010, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes, i5, 10 gen. Can it handle game development? Loading Legend, it probably depends on what kind of game development you're going to do. I have not done a ton. I would imagine, though, if you wanted to do some simple, like, browser-based, JavaScript-based, like, game development, it would be fine. I've not really done any game development outside of that type of setting. I would say go for it, find out, like, get set up with Unity or get set up with Godot and hack away and see if you can't push the limits a little bit, Suhas, can you rate me out of 10 and give me criticism and coding, please? Well, Suhas, I hate to rate you, man. It's just I haven't worked with you enough, nor have I seen enough of your work product to be able to pass a grade on you. Yeah, I hate to. I'm not gonna say like you're. I'm just. I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's my place. Loading Legend like 2D. Yeah, I say go for it, Loading Legend. I don't. Like, I'm sure there's somebody in the chat who probably is like, no, you need to beef your machine. I say go for it, man. Find out where the limits are there. You can definitely get started. I see no reason why. Suas, I would love to know your opinion. Yeah, like I said, Suas, it's not that I don't want to give you one. It's just, like, we haven't pair programmed on something. We haven't worked on a project together. And honestly, like, who am I to judge somebody else's coding ability, right? Like, you guys see my own coding ability. I'm slow. I'm probably way too methodical about stuff. And you can probably go to my GitHub and find code that you would tear apart. So I'm just, probably not my place to pass judgment there. Voldy, it's the easiest thing I have to do. Make a Discord.js bot for Minecraft server. Oh, very cool, man. I'd like to make a Discord bot as a project sometime. Learn a little bit of JavaScript. Well, go for it, dude. Get it. Till Lewis says, I use my toaster to code. Loading Legend. Bro, you're so cool. Love from India. Well, my kids would probably disagree with you, man. They tell me I have the worst dad jokes ever. But I appreciate that, man, and appreciate the love from India. We've had quite a few chatters from India in my streams, so that's very cool. I tell people I know this probably sounds bad, but like I do feel somewhat of a connection to India. I have a family member who's from India, an uncle who's from India, and so growing up, his mom, I used to call his mom Nani Chandrika, and she used to always, every time we would go and visit them, she would always make this like super elaborate spread of Indian food. So good. Toad Sage, I use a smart toilet to code while thinking. Too good. Let's see. I use a tough toaster. You guys are trolls. Unique UX. I code with hand gestures with my eye contact interface. Noobs. Have you guys ever seen that lady? I think her artist name is Imogen. She does music with gloves. She has like gloves in her hands that she does music with. Yeah, it's Imogen. Yeah, I watched this NPR Tiny Desk concert, and she kind of gives like a little demo. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, it's here. She gives like a demo of how she uses these gloves to control her what I assume is her laptop, but like the way the music is modulated. And when Unique UX said I code with hand gestures, I immediately thought of this. This would be ultimate vibe coding, where like you're like waving your hands around like a conductor to write code. Suhas, I'm from India. Oh, very cool. And I know, Toast Sage is from India too. Indian food is busting. Yeah, Indian food is good. I love me some naan bread. I don't know why do people think Indian food is bad. I don't know, Suhas. I've always had all the Indian food I've ever had has been wonderful. Let's see, so naan bread, and then the other thing she would make was what was the other thing? Was it I don't want to say it wrong. Butter chicken, which I think is kind of like I think that's an Indian dish. I just remember going over to her house and eating their house, and that being one of the things she would always serve us: naan bread, buttered chicken, rice. But yeah, it's like just a very elaborate spread every time we'd go over and visit. Some good childhood memories there. Where has the stream come to? That now we have a reference to a poop recognition model. This stream has quite diverged from working on an MCP server. Unique UX, it would be a total vibe. It really would be. Voldy, I'm Romanian if anyone's curious. Oh, very cool, Voldy. Let's see, you're in the parts of the world. I have another Romania. Where is that? That's in yeah, you're right next door to Serbia. There's a guy, Voldy, who hangs in chat. His name's Stefan, and he's in Serbia. So you guys are neighbors. Suhas, what is naan bread? Oh, I think it's Naan bread. This is what I'm thinking of. It's like an unleavened or a leavened bread. Maybe this isn't Indian. I could be completely confused, but I just remember eating something like this at her house. It was like a flatbread of some kind. It's very good. A Curious World is now joining the poop recognition project. It does sound very silly, but I also definitely can see the practical application of such a model. Nice joke. I'm not sure I get the joke, Loading Legend, but yeah, thanks for sharing. Unique UX's headline there. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be very wild. Holy shit. It's 11:30. We've been having ourselves a good time tonight. This has been a fun stream. I was half debating. I actually was watching anybody here watch The Last of Us on HBO Max? I was actually sitting on the couch, like right over here to my left, which I guess to you guys looks like my right. Your right, my left. But I was sitting on the couch here watching the most recent episode of The Last of Us, and I was like half debating, like, should I get on and stream? It's kind of late, but I'm really glad I did. This has been a lot of fun. Loading Legend, bro. That was a dark humor joke. Yes, it. I see the dark in it. I do see the dark in it. I don't have HBO Max, but it seems like it is a really good show, Unique UX. So if you ever get a chance to check it out, it's very good. Cat bathroom, of course. Hey, cat bathroom. I don't know if I actually said hi to you. You just kind of popped up in the chat. It's good to have you here, man. All right, let's see if I can get my test fixed real quick that I broke. So basically all I need to do at the moment is I just need to provide yes, so I should probably just use the constructor, new field, and let's see, what do I need to pass in here? ID, app ID, name, type. Okay. One. ID, app ID. Let's see, app ID can be one. Name is going to be status. Type is going to be field type. List. The status of the field enabled. False. Field status dot enabled. Okay, then we'll just repeat this basically for all these other ones. This is where Copilot comes in super handy. Let's see. Call this reference. And then, so basically, our expectation should just be. This needs to become 1. This becomes 1. This becomes 1. We're just replacing all the field names with their corresponding IDs is basically what we're doing. This was 3. This was 2. This was 4. Alright, so if you've done everything right. Oh yeah, because these are numbers. Filter. There we go. Now all the tests are passing again. Cool. Making some progress tonight. Loading legend. Where do you learn? Hold on. Sorry, guys. You should have a line change counter on his stream. That's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna add that to my. I have a. Hold on. I have a little notepad of things to do on stream. Let's see. Add a lines change counter. I like that idea a lot. Warning, 1 line per code limit exceeded. Necessary protocols are being initiated. Loading legend. Do you stream? I do. I try to stream every day, Loading legend. During the week, it's usually around 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see. I kind of fell behind in the stream. Sorry. Bro, which is the best movie you suggest or any series to watch as my exam is over? Well, Loading Legend, I would definitely say you need to watch The Office, watch Breaking Bad, watch Better Call Saul. All those would be worth your time. Halo, we are trying to build a model context protocol server, although we haven't been doing too much of that. We've just been talking a lot. I haven't coded much. Let's see. Let me try to get caught up here. Do I stream every day? I do. I try to stream about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time during the week. And then on the weekends, it's a little bit more loosey-goosey with my stream schedule because of family and stuff. I've got 2 kids, so family time kind of comes first. Toad says, okay, Steven, I'll go for a lunch break. See you, Toad says. Sorry if you're already gone, man. Have a good day, dude. Curious World, good night, y'all. Hope you all achieve your goals and see you, Curious World. If you're gone already, man, hope you have a good day. Loading Legend, where do you learn coding from? I learned a lot from freecodecamp.org, and then I just learned a ton from watching a lot of YouTube content, a lot of building my own projects, and kind of doing a lot of just-in-time learning of like, okay, I have this idea, I want to build it, and then when I get to a point where I'm not 100% certain what to do, I go do a bunch of Googling and researching to kind of fill in my gaps. Code Brew. There's no refactor thing on NeoVim. There is. Yeah. There is definitely refactor. There's code actions, as you know. You can do stuff like like if I let's for example I delete filter operators, you have different code actions that you can do. Like this I can just update, auto import things, stuff like that. You can do that in NeoVim for sure. Suhas, 3 hours, let's go. Yeah, it's been a long one, man. It's been a long one. We might make it to my birthday at this rate. Let's see. It's too. Yes, I know how to do find and replace for sure. In NeoVim. That was like a very important day in my NeoVim journey when I figured, because I used to do that a lot in VS Code with the search and replace, find and replace. So learning how to do that in NeoVim was a game changer. Voldy, probably make a line written ratio to chat answers. Voldy, that's kind of more that's more representative of my productivity during a stream, isn't it? That might be the more important KPI. Let's see. Use C after G to get confirmation at each point. Yeah. C after G. Oh, yeah. That's funny. What you guys are hitting on is my dumb foo skills. So instead of changing status one by one to one, I should have done what you guys are saying is, instead of doing that very painfully, I should have done Shift S status and then 1. But I don't think I want to replace that everywhere, do I? So what are you saying? How do I do just one at a time? Use C after G to get confirmation at each point. So, oh, that's cool. So you can say no, 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 no. So how do I know which one I'm on, though? I think yes, right? Yes. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. God, you guys teach me something new about NeoVim every day. Thank you very much, chat. Yeah, that would have saved me some time. Code Brew, you should teach your wife to code an MCP server. Have her code on stream while you talk to us. Peak productivity. Yeah, just let her vibe code it, huh? Yeah, she probably wouldn't be too into that. Whenever I'm on the computer, whenever people ask her, they're like, well, what does Steven do in his free time? The way she describes it is, she says, I don't know, he's always doing data stuff. I don't know why. For whatever reason, she has equated me writing code to something to do with data. But that would be pretty funny. I don't know if you guys saw, this was a really fun video that I watched. It was a sponsored video, so take it for what it's worth. Web Dev Cody, he did a video where his wife, he had his wife vibe code with this one right here, making my wife a senior vibe coder. This was a really funny video. So this is what you're kind of talking about, Code Brew about doing. I don't know if my wife would go for it. My wife's deep into her hobbies are reading. She reads a lot of books and she watches a lot of D&D, and she plays D&D. Actually, she's part of a game. So I don't know how much tolerance she'd have for sitting there and vibe coding for 30 minutes or an hour. Use GC. I use it a lot with quick fix lists using CDO. Okay, very cool, Toadsage. Well, there you guys go. Chat strikes again. Leveling up my Vim foo. Suhas, I think we should do this experiment where I do the chatting and you do the coding. Yeah, but Suhas, see, that's half the fun of streaming is the chatting, man. If I didn't do the chatting, then I would just be doing the coding. And I try. The thing is, honestly, honestly, guys, like, you can look at my GitHub activity. Like, I stream and code, and the coding I get done while I stream is very minimal. And then the real work, like the real progress I make on projects is mostly at night after my kids go to bed. Like if today hadn't been Easter Sunday, I would have streamed like this during the day for an hour or two, and then right now I'd be like trying to be heads down making real progress. It's just, I just think it's the nature of the beast. If you're gonna stream, you're not gonna be uber productive, and that's okay, because part of the fun is talking to you all. All right, I'll go for 10 more minutes. We'll go up until it rolls over to the 21st for me, and then I'm gonna go to bed so I can get ready for my full day of playing hooky tomorrow from work, and hopefully having some fun with my wife. Toad says no need for justification, man. Yeah. Toad says is like, Steven, we promise you're enough. And I'm over here like, no guys, really, I can code. I promise, I can really code. Suhas, yes, my productivity dropped because of your streams. Oh no. I'm having a negative effect on others. Code Brew, what time do you usually stream during the day? Usually, so during the week, Code Brew, I almost always aim to stream about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll usually take my lunch break then. I'll set up the stream, and I'll usually stream for about an hour during lunch. And sometimes I'll do a stream earlier in the morning. But it's just hard. It's for me right now, I'm at this stage of life where I want to make content, I want to stream, but it all has to be kind of secondary, right, to like the day job. So like if meetings run over, or if something at work blows up, then the stream schedule kind of gets shot to hell. Which I know for you guys that's not the most ideal, because I know it helps to know when people are going to be live so you can tune in. And maybe one day I get to a point where I can have a little bit more control over that stream schedule. Code Brew, it's been fun. I have you on my right monitor and I'm half coding on my left one. Yeah, see, that's like, and that's the kind of vibes I'd like the stream to create, right? Like I said, I'd like it to be kind of like if you met up with your friends at a coffee shop to do some hacking, and you guys all open your laptops and sort of, you hack on your project, you drink some coffee, have some fun, good conversation. That's the kind of vibes I want to create. That's right. It's all good. Yep, tortoise versus the hare, right? Too many people in a hurry these days. I think too many people overestimate what they can do. They overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can accomplish in 5, right? It's just slow and steady wins the race. Oh wow, I set myself in Discord to do not disturb for an hour, and the hour's already gone. That's funny. Nice toaster memes in the Discord, guys. I appreciate those. Check out Discord. What is that, Tulu? I'm suspicious to click on anything that requires me to download it. Suas, what is your definition of hacking? My definition of hacking is making stuff do things they are not meant to be done. Oh, well, I guess who else? When I mean hacking, I mean like, people have projects and they're their own projects, or their projects that they're trying to build a SaaS, or whatever people are working on, right? They're hacking on it. They're clacking on their keyboard trying to make progress. I don't mean hacking as in like, you're trying to break into the NSA or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. What I mean by hacking is like working on your projects together. Imagine if we were all like in a hackathon, right? Working on something together. Philip says you must see it. Yeah, if you can change it to some sort of file I could just play in Discord, or like a link to something maybe. I don't know. I'm always suspicious of downloading files. There we go. How do I make this bigger? There we go. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to dox Tolu what Tolu sent me. Let's see. Oh, nice. Is this the counter? This is the counter. Very cool. Yes, I know how to do this. I wonder if there's some way we could automate this. Huh? Oh, no, you did automate it. Test.bat. Oh, very cool. Thank you for sending that, man. I'll have to wire that up. I think that would be a lot of fun. What is the That's fun. So what's in your test.bat file there, Talua? Talua, you just sent me? That's very fun. Toad Sage, or maybe we're doing social engineering. We could, hopefully not. Hopefully not, Toad Sage. Yusuf, I'm new. What are you doing? Yusuf, I'm trying to work on building a model context protocol server, but most of the stream has involved me writing a little bit of code and doing a lot of chatting. And we're kind of coming to the end of the stream. But yeah, but good to have you here, man. Good to have you here, Yusuf. I usually stream daily, so definitely feel free to hang around, and if you see me live again. And I'm happy to explain more about what an MCP server is too, if that's not something you're familiar with. Yeah, trying. So that was cool. So who was it that mentioned the idea of a line counter? Yeah, that was so someone mentioned the idea of having a line counter, because we were all joking about like, you run your mouth a lot more than you write code. And Tolu just sent me a POC of what that would look like, maybe. So hopefully I can maybe wire that up, because I think that would be really funny to have some sort of line change counter. Because I think I may have written 40 lines of code over the 3 hours we've been streaming. Yeah, CodeBrew, it was you. Yeah, CodeBrew made the idea, and Tolu just sent me a small little POC of it. So maybe I can wire that up before the next time we stream. So I'll summarize everything you learned about AI at some point. Yeah, definitely. We can do that at some point. I don't know a ton, so it'll probably be a pretty short summary. Yusuf, yeah, I would like if you explain it more, please. Okay, so Yusuf, there is this, if you're familiar with generative AI, there is things, so like OpenAI and Anthropic both have this idea of tool use or function calling, right? So the idea is, hey, an LLM can generate inputs to a function or a tool, and then your program can take those inputs and execute them in some way, right? So think of you could query a database, or you could write something to the file system, or you could run some code, right? And historically, what this looked like is you make an API call to one of these foundation model. Suhash just blew up the chat with happy birthday. Yeah, it is, man. Officially 21st. I appreciate that. Suhash. Very kind of you, man. And so, okay. So to pick up what I was trying to explain there, Yusuf. So you would make a request to the API that says, hey, there's these tools that you can use to, in this case, get weather, right? So like this is that whole idea of like an agentic AI workflow, right? And what MCP is about sort of creating this common protocol so that people can write tools essentially one time that are model context protocol compliant, right? So imagine somebody writes a MCP server for GitHub, which there is an MCP server for GitHub. Now every MCP client can use that server, right? So now everybody doesn't have to go reinvent the wheel and implement some sort of agent framework to interact with the GitHub API. That's basically what the whole idea is behind MCP is. It's kind of like this common LLM or generative AI. No, let's say LLM first abstraction layer. And you can read more about it at modelcontextprotocol.io if you're interested. Code Brewer, I'm off to sleep. Have a good one, man. See you, Code Brewer. Thanks for hanging out with us. To Lou, thank you very much for sending through that bat file. Appreciate that. It was a very cool little POC. Suha's first guy to wish you. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. That's actually, I think, gonna... Suhas, I was the second one, remember? I wished him from the future. Oh. Yeah. It's kind of unfair for you guys because you guys have already time traveled to the 21st. And I've only just arrived. Yeah, I will. Thanks for explaining for. Yeah, sure, Yusuf. I think it's very interesting when you start to look at it a little bit. You start to see like, oh, this makes sense, right? Let's have a way to share these agentic tools, right? So that not everybody has to just reinvent the wheel all the time. All right, Voldy, have a good trip, man, to the bathroom. I think that's probably, guys, gonna be it for me. I need to get some sleep so I can be worth anything tomorrow for me and my wife's hooky date away from work. She's off work, I'm off work. We're gonna take the kids to the school in the morning and then, I don't know, figure out something fun to do during the day. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. This has been a really fun stream. Let's see, we've got Cold Brew. Thanks for hanging out. Suhas, thank you very much. Voldy, thanks for stopping by. Yusuf, appreciate you. Toad Sage, Suhas, all you guys, appreciate it. Talu, thanks for all the help. And anybody else that's still here, appreciate you. If you're interested in hanging out and like interacting more outside of stream, there is a Discord, so please feel free to join the Discord. We'd love to have you. And yeah, otherwise I think I'm gonna sign off for the evening, go try to get some sleep, and the jury's kind of out on streaming tomorrow, or I guess today. It's now today. If I do stream, it'll probably be sometime in the afternoon or later in the evening. So I usually try to post in the Discord when I go live, but yeah, with it being the birthday, with it being birthdays and us, taking off work and stuff, we'll see. We'll see. All right. See you guys. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.